All right. Hello. Welcome everyone back to Big K. What time is it?
Happy hour time.
It's a happy hour show. What's
Yeah,
going on, sir? How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I mean, all things considered, feeling great.
Yeah, we'll get into all of those things as well. We have Dylan and Buck DeSantis with us today. So how are you gentlemen doing?
I'm doing pretty good. It's sunny out here in Florida. It's prices are, they're how they are. And I mean, can't complain. It's great.
Discounts everywhere.
Discounts everywhere. And I'm checking my video feed, and of course, I'm having issues. So I'll duck back out and come back in, and that usually resolves it. But yeah, talk about those discounts really quick.
We can see you okay.
On YouTube, though?
Oh, okay. Maybe not.
Yeah, for some reason, I'm blacked out. It's just really weird.
Rip.
I don't understand.
Yeah, this has happened before. Yeah, just pop out and come on back.
All right.
We can talk about the discounts, but I just have been painfully. I've been like, holding my nose and clicking the buy.
Yeah. I feel that. Yeah. Looks like Buck is Buck DeSantis now. Interesting change from Buck Rock. I guess he retired, and now he's living the life in the villages in Florida.
The villages.
That's
yeah. He's got his loofah. He's got his loofah under his car. Fucking rearview mirror.
Oh, that's so cute.
Signaling to the world.
You're good to go.
Well, just so we get a brief catch up, because I know we probably got like I don't know, an hour or so to get through what we want to talk about, maybe a little longer, but it'll be a happy hour-ish show. It's been a minute, so this is kind of the fun and finance, informal but informative show. We're also all over Twitter now, so X. So hey to y'all out there watching through that app. And what's up through the chat? And of course, my guy Freddie Quotes is all revved up. Par excellence. Nice. Hexy Bastard starting it off right. 6969. Good day to you, sir.
Thank
Mr.
you, sir.
Admin. And then Align the Light, Mango Junkie, Nick, D Nice, David Morales. Hey, good to see you, man. Been a minute. Mudhog and many others. Hans is here for the green candle technology. We'll see what we can do about that.
We'll see if we can manifest some.
Yeah.
So I think Hexy Bastard wants to perform Cunnilingus. Is that the supposition of his 6969?
I mean, if that's what you want to take away from it.
Perform and or receive too. I mean, it's a
right. There's 269. So well, yeah. I guess you're still. So maybe it's not even happening if it's 269s. Maybe.
It's like a double negative.
Double negative. Yeah.
It's like a side. It's like one of those side by side ones, like a swinger thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Maybe it's just like some weird scissoring or something. Anyway,
right. You need to have some friends you can really trust for that there.
That's right. Well, we got a bunch to talk about. I mean, it's been a minute since I've been on with Buck and Dylan, so definitely want to get their takes on a lot of things. Big K was on with you a few weeks back. We were on with Jesse. But a lot has happened since then. But I guess we'll just, buzz through the order of things. We'll get to the good stuff as we always do later in the show as we proceed. But I just want to talk, I guess, start off with like overall markets and macro, as I usually like to get Buck's take, and then we start from there. We had like stagflation, with market data coming out pre-open this week. We had like stagflation worries. And then PCE came out this morning, and it wasn't so bad. So it's like up, down, up, down, up, down. And it seemed like, usually if you get these wide swings, it sort of signals a top. And then we did top out a little bit, I guess, a week or two ago, came back down. But it seems like now we're just coming right back, especially tech minus, maybe Bitcoin right now. But what's your take on, I guess, your macro take, Buck? How we looking? How's it even affect crypto, even if it does?
Yeah, well, I think it ultimately does. Maybe not in the short term. But maybe it doesn't matter so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely in the medium or long term, it totally matters. So I think probably about in December, I started saying I thought the bond market was overpricing cuts, and I think I tweeted that, and that's sort of come to fruition. So I think we're probably, actually probably not going to be getting too many cuts this year, if we get any at all. So I think the market's sort of at a position where it's kind of uncertain which way the Fed's likely to move. It still obviously has a bias towards cuts in the future, but I think people are realizing that it's possible that we may actually start to see inflation start to creep up. So it's less of a shove your money in the center type scenario than it was a year ago. So I think about a month or two ago, ahead of the halving, I was saying I don't really think the conditions are here to really send crypto super, super high. And we did put in a new all-time high, but not anything like that's going to like set off fireworks or anything like that. And I think a lot of that was aided by the kind of serendipitous timing of the ETF launch, which had a lot of pent-up demand. So this is getting away from macro now, and getting more to the bottom-up side of things. We had a lot of pent-up demand for these ETF products, which was unsustainable. And so, you can now see that they're pretty much running dry. Like I think one of the things I follow is Farside on Twitter, which has all the different ETFs, live updating. And I think like BlackRock basically put in nothing today, for the first time. What we still have is an overhang of selling from the grayscale thing. So I'm kind of looking at this going, it's probably still up over the medium term. I don't think the cycle's over, but it's going to take a while. That's sort of my thinking. There's a market ad saying sell in May and go away. There may be some of that here too. And then the other thing to think about, I guess, is particularly with crypto, is this election, because I think a lot of what's holding us back is regulatory uncertainty. So with all of the stuff that's been happening, I think depending on who wins in November, you're going to be looking at very different regimes for crypto going forward. So those are kind of the things on my plate. As the market's been dipping, I've been buying things. I started to sell around the time I was saying I don't really think there's going to be big fireworks here. So I'm starting to buy things back. I bought a bunch of Solana, for example, because I didn't really have enough of an exposure. And I think Solana is just kind of a hedge towards ETH getting MySpaced. So I don't really mind if Bitcoin wins or if Bitcoin and Ethereum wins, but if Ethereum and Bitcoin don't win, that's bad for me. So like I picked up some Solana on this dip and things like that. What else am I watching? I'm watching the dollar yen. I think that's a pretty interesting one. You're at 40-year lows with the yen versus the dollar. So there's kind of signs of little cracks in lots of different places. That kind of disjointment means that I do think eventually we're gonna have to send the medicine in to make people feel better. So I'm waiting for that, but I think it's gonna take a little bit longer. Sorry about that bit of a long-winded answer.
No, you answered the question. I was going to add to that. It just seems like if the 10-year gets too far over like 4.5, then stocks really start to get sketchy. And that's kind of mid fours, I guess, is kind of been seen as like the prelude to the danger zone. And then I guess we got up to like 4.7 and whatnot. But stocks are kind of coming back a little bit here. So
Yeah, they're super expensive, and they keep getting more expensive. So it's a weird scenario. And just a bit about what I've been doing. Like I was in Dubai last week, and kind of doing the Token 2049 conference, and I've been in Palm Beach the last few days. Like kind of seeing the same thing, but on a different continent. Just there's a lot of really wealthy people out there, and we're not really feeling it in Hexaco at the moment, but the people elsewhere are feeling pretty damn good, I have to say. And there's just a lot of wealth sloshing around, a lot of very expensive assets out there. So it's just something to keep in mind.
Yeah, and
like I've seen this before. 2006, 2005. It all felt great.
And a couple years later, oh boy.
Yeah.
I mean, we do have, I guess, a couple whales splashing around on the Pulse Chain ecosystem, but obviously the goal is to get more of those types, and we'll get into those splashes, I guess, a little later. And Dylan might have a thought or two on that, but I think. What was the other thing I wanted to get to before we get into the good stuff? Big K, you got any take on just overall macro? No, you don't really give a crap about that. You would like to talk the RH stuff, but
no, I'll talk about it all. Yeah, I don't know. I think that we all thought that cuts were coming. There was going to be rate cuts. Where are my rate cuts?
Well, you say we. I think that's like
I'm a pretty good general.
I did not really.
participant.
I thought maybe a couple by the end of the year, but
even
6 was just silly.
No. I don't know about 6, but it's like a general, like, I'm just trying to feel the sentiment of the market. I'm an idiot just trying to feel it out. Last year, October, November time, people were expecting more rate cuts this year. That by this time, maybe one or so. But now, like, that landscape has definitely shifted in 6 months. So like now we're at a place where you might maybe later. Maybe not, and so it's but as far as like if you look at market cycles of Bitcoin previously, and I'm going to take something that's just fresh in my mind because I was just watching Axis talking about this like an hour ago, but like there's a point in the market right about here, when Bitcoin usually hits its all-time high, where we get this like chill off spot that can take a while. Sometimes it can take 6 months plus for the next big wave up, to come in, and has in the past couple cycles, and there was like, last time around we did this in between. So we had like the DeFi summer, where like there was some runs of all sorts of goofy food products, which I'm sure that other people in this sphere are feeling some of that, right now, so like when you have, there's other pockets of things going on, but no, I'd expect Bitcoin just ran up a bunch,
there's tons of memes, bro.
So why wouldn't you? There's a lot of memes there.
Bro.
That's all I feel like that's all this. There's so many memes, bro.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on all of this, Dylan? Memes and non-DeFi summer. Is this a meme season? Like, what are we kind of entering here in the crypto sphere?
Yeah, it seems like Solana's been popping off with a bunch of memes. It seems like people are trying to replicate that on Pulse, which may work, might not. I don't know. I think BitBoy just launched a meme token today on Pulse Chain, live on his stream.
Bro.
Yeah, it's called Bro. Yeah, Bromance.
Yeah.
And which that's cool, right? I haven't seen any inflows to Pulse Chain, but yeah, it's cool for guys that sniped it and are making money on it, right? It seems like we're just in a predatory environment right now on Pulse, because everybody wants some fucking milk from the teat, and it's just drying up, and so the best next thing that they could do is go PvP on some meme coins, and so it's working for some, it's not working for others. And people are having a good time, so by all means, But that's what my observations have been. But macro wise, it just kind of looks like we're just stagnant in terms of capital inflows for Bitcoin. Like Buck said, pent up demand. The ETFs for BlackRock, they hold what $27 billion now, and now we're just kind of chilling out at what 65 through 70K, maybe a little lower than that, right?
Yep.
So I mean, there's nothing exciting going on there anymore. So it'd be nice if ETH started popping up. There's an ETF coming out for China on the 30th, but I don't know if China's economy is too wrecked to where like nobody fucking wants to buy it anyway.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because they don't use those products in the same scale that Americans do.
Okay, so what is it like at a lesser degree or?
Oh, well, way less, like orders of magnitude. Even
Okay,
you
so
look at it this way. Even the big money guys, like globally, are going to use that BlackRock one over their little local product.
okay.
Right? So anybody who's actually got serious amounts of money that wants to invest into the U.S. version, no one's going to use that Asian one. It's nice because it puts pressure on the
Americans.
Regulate. Yeah, because we've had spot Bitcoin ETFs in Asia Pac for a while, right? You just didn't know or care about them, right? Is the reality. So I don't think that's going to change. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I couldn't help but correct you.
No, yeah. It's thanks for the input. Yeah, so I mean, that's my thoughts and stuff. And I'm kind of just waiting. I deployed some capital a week back or so, and HEX is doing okay. So chugging along, doing its thing.
Well, speaking of HEX, we're gonna move a little quick because I know Buck's got a jet here in a little bit. But I was looking over your timeline, Buck, at just some recent things because I wanted to recall a couple discussions that you had on X for this show. One of them was your bottom call in December, and you kind of said it was a pretty good call in January, and we went up. Back down, then up, back down, and now we're at those levels. Do you think this bottom is still going to hold? I think it's like the third time we're kind of testing around this area.
Yeah, well, I mean, I did publicly sell one of the local tops about a month and a half ago, and Dylan was quite angry at me because I dumped in his head. But he managed to get his own little top, I think, a few days later, or when we had that weird thing where where PHEX randomly went up a whole bunch temporarily.
Randomly.
So and then I've been buying all the way down. So yeah, I don't mind volatility. I look at it as an opportunity. I think this is an easy market to trade. And I'll add that the team's been buying. I think we've bought around 200K of our own coins. Our treasury's got about 350K sitting in it.
Nice.
Wonder what we might do with some of that. Yeah, I think in general, things don't look awesome right now. Obviously, there's a heap of stuff going on, and everybody's thinking about anything but pulse chain. Like let's just be honest about that. And I think because I come from an investment background, that doesn't really bother me so much. I know a lot of you guys treat your investments like you're in high school and you need to be involved in whatever the thing that everybody's talking about is. But,
what's the latest meme, bro?
Yeah, or like, why isn't everybody talking about my coin? Is it because they don't like me? I kind of like to wait until the light is not shining on something that's been forgotten about. It still has good value. It still has a future, and I don't want to buy it cheap. And I've done that before with HEX. I've done it quite a few times actually with HEX. I've done with other things in my career, and I think that's something to think about. It doesn't mean, I'm not saying go out and buy any particular coin, but just keep that in mind. A lot of you guys are very keen to go buy the tops of whatever this week's meme coin is that's going up a bunch. And as Dylan said, it's PvP. You are the exit liquidity. You are making someone's dream. You're buying their Lambo for them, or contributing to their Lambo.
Donating
when you're donating to their Lambo. So yeah, I actually don't really mind it when these coins are down. When I look at Pulse Chain in general, and I look at things like BNB, they're not really going anywhere either. None of the other kind of EVML ones. I had the team wanted me to sell some Matic because they think Matic's dead because it's not going anywhere, and I've kind of been ignoring them because it's like I think Matic's going to be fine. It's just not, like nobody cares about EVML ones right now. The only one that's gone anywhere is AVAX, and that's only because it got so badly murdered along with Solana in the bear market that it's recovered a little bit, and that recovery looks cool. But in reality, it's not like any of them are really doing all that much. This cycle has been entirely about Bitcoin, and that's because there's this unique event that only happens once. First time in crypto, U.S. spot ETFs. It's a big deal, and the happening, within the span of 2 months of each other, and that's now over. So I would say if you get risk on, you're going to start to see other parts of crypto start to do very well. And somebody was angry at me in the chat because I said I bought a little bit of Solana. That's like they didn't understand. It's not because I like Solana.
He did say it was a hedge.
Yeah, it's a hedge. Yeah,
there's a difference.
Solana. Buck's gonna put warts, guys.
I'm underweight Solana. I don't have enough of it because I don't like it, but I should have. I should have some, just in case I'm wrong, because that happens. That's kind of why I'm playing it now. I'm also picking up other L1s and other different things. Because I do think we're going to get probably in the next year or so a pretty good opportunity to see these things run. So that's kind of where I'm set up for. But yeah, the whole RH thing, I'd say, Richard's. I think his strategy is pretty clear to me. He kind of bought the local top on Ethereum, and markets have gone against him temporarily. People like to kind of tease him for that. I see a lot of you guys in the chat making negative comments. Timing markets is hard. I think Richard's told us that before. I think that's a good example of timing markets being quite hard. Obviously, it would have been better if he did it at 10,000, or sorry, at 1,000.
Yeah.
ETH. I'm sure he wishes he could have that back. But Michael Saylor bought the top last time as well, and kept buying it. And
now he's the smartest man on earth.
Now everybody thinks the guy's a genius, right? And I've been in Bitcoin 10 years longer than he has. So there you go. No one cares what I think. So I think if Ethereum does well over a 5-year, let's say, time horizon, then Pulse Chain should do quite well. If Ethereum doesn't do well, then I would say Pulse Chain's pretty fucked, right? So Richard buying all that ETH to me is perfect. I'm glad he finally did it. I was trying to signal to him to buy it for the past 2 years in our secret Cabal chat, where we see
you have a direct line to the man himself.
Where we just so that we can conspire, against everybody. Yeah. But I'm glad he's finally done it, and I think in a world where Ethereum goes to 8-10K, which I think is plausible, like it's possible over a reasonable time frame. That starts to look like a genius move. and we don't know all the cards there. I would say Richard's playing a much longer game, and I know that as the founder myself, like I don't really care about what is happening to the price of this thing this week. You know what I mean? It's I'm thinking of a longer term about what I'm going to be doing over the next 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. And I know crypto people are remarkably impatient, disloyal, and nasty, and want to have instant returns. But I'd say that's really hard to do. Like if when you do get that, it's probably just luck. There's someone else that got annihilated. So you have to be more patient. So I'm not necessarily super worried or concerned. I'm not necessarily super jubilant either, if that makes sense. If the price goes down some more, I'm going to buy some more. And if it goes up a lot, I'm going to be selling it again. And then when it goes down some more and you guys are whinging, I'll be buying again. So all of the negative comments that you guys are making, keep them up, because you're just making me feel like going to buy some more. So go complain some more. Shout out to whoever this guy is going, like Richard, where is this guy? Some guy was complaining about Richard. Let's face it, Richard, fucked us or something like that. Not really. Not exactly. It's a tough situation that he's in. And I think he shows us pretty much every day that the gears are still turning, and that he's still behind us. And that's enough for me. So that's how I think about it.
Yep. I mean, I've been like you guys buying my favorite coins over the past week or two, and this is kind of when you do that, like when it hurts really. And sometimes those are the best trades. Now, if it's just like a longer duration, then it's even more painful, because it's not like a V-shaped recovery or something like that, which I've been fortunate. I think I'd venture to say most of us have been fortunate to catch as well at points in our investing careers. What's Big K? You keep going in and out. We'll go to Dylan then. What are your thoughts on this whole RH thing? And I guess I'll get your take too on this. I think it's become just like this annoying, cancerous kind of thinking that the community doesn't have to do anything because Sack Daddy's going to come and save the day. And that's not what this community was ever built on. No. And now it's, price isn't performing the way that, many want. So it's like, save us. It's like, no, we built this thing as a community, all the guys that get on, stream, all the connections that have been made, throughout, different continents, really. It just can't stop here. It's got to keep going. Thoughts on that?
Yeah. No, yeah, I totally agree, man. Back in the day, it used to be an unspoken word of, oh, maybe this is happening, right? And, maybe there's a little bit of pumping going on, right? And it was always kept quiet, okay? And nowadays, and back in the day, we would always onboard as much as we could and, do our best, right? But nowadays, it's like, oh, yeah, we're good. Like, we ain't got to do shit. And that's like, look what's happening right now. It's retarded. That's terrible, right? Let the guy do his thing. He's going to do whatever he wants. We're here on the chain right now. We're the community. We need to be building the community, right? We don't need to be like, oh, you don't have to onboard anything because XYZ, oh, he's just going to pump it. It's like, no, dude. We still need to work on community building. Still need to do our thing in any way that we see fit, right? Advertising, all this sort of shit. Okay. That shouldn't stop. Okay. I love bringing up Corey and Dane. Those guys, they're doing their thing.
Yep.
They're going out speaking to real guys that have money, and they're onboarding. Yeah. They're onboarding. Yeah. It's great. And love those guys, right? None of them think, oh, I could just stop now and, just fucking sit on my ass and do nothing. No, that's not how you get things done. That's not how you grow. That's not how you get things done. That's not how you just grow a business in general. You gotta keep buying or you start dying, right? An old successful owner of a very large junkyard company told me that one time. He said, if you stop buying, you start dying. Meaning, if you're not expanding your business and growing your clientele base and doing all these things, you're literally just going to start dying, and you're going to be overtaken by your competition, and you're going to be wiped off the map. Okay. So unless you guys want to continue to die and just go into irrelevance, then keep it up, right? Don't onboard. Don't talk about stuff you like.
The same principle applies to procreation, Olad.
There you go. Yeah. If you stop having kids, yeah, your country's fucked, right? Like Mort, he doesn't want to have any kids. Maybe that's a plus, but hey,
he's effectively sterile, right? That's the reality.
Exactly. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean that's and in general, I feel like that's the thing that is most important overall is that finding being able to tell. That was what was exciting about HEX in the beginning for me, and was how fun it was to onboard people because of how exciting not just the gains, but like just the product that I was building, the thing that I built, like something that I actually believed in that was going to do well. And for a while now, it's been I've pumped the brakes for a while on onboarding people, but like for the past 3-4 months or so, I've really stepped it up and started my reaching out to people that I'd held off on, saying, hey, this is probably a good time to buy some of this stuff. So that I recommend, if everyone for other people out there to do the same. I mean, that was part of the fun of HEX, is like the people that are around that are all Hexicans that I know are all the people that I wanted to be, that I helped to get there. And so you have like a unique opportunity to tell people about this stuff. If you understand any of it whatsoever, you kind of owe it to yourself and owe it to them to like give some sort of knowledge about it. People can talk shit about it and tell you. I mean, a lot of my bestest friends, like my super closest friends, I can tell you right before COVID happened, like that January, February of that year, I had those cards that like my referral link cards that I was handing out everywhere. I went to a friend of mine's wedding, and like this is in St. Lucia, and like I'm handing these fuckers everywhere, and my boys are like straight up dogging me out, just giving like, you're fucking idiot, this shit's so fucking dumb.
Wow.
And like a year and a half, like maybe a year and a half later, the kid who was giving me the hardest time, one of my best friends, he's like, yo man, what about these fucking big payday? What about these t-shirt? What about, I wanted to know everything.
Oh yeah.
Of course he was, like
green candles are great marketing.
Fucking such an idiot, and like, I mean, I tried, and that's all you can do. And the people who listened were very, very stoked because they did, so like, this is definitely a good time. Risk reward here is pretty high, so like, I mean, people are, there's a time when 56 cents risk reward is a little different than it is now.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
Buck, I know we got you for a few more minutes. One tweet X thread or whatever I thought was pretty interesting, because I've thought along the same lines, just because I've watched all the financial television shows, and they often talk about AI. Of course, AI stocks are all the rage right now. But KDP actually, I guess, started this with one of her tweets. And I mean, it kind of tied in this ecosystem with RH. And she was just like, Richard's paying close attention to AI in the world. He knows it's getting harder and harder for anyone to get ahead. Studies show you have to earn $120K a year minimum to even be able to save to buy a home. He can see AI will wipe out jobs. The world is heading to a place where only the rich will get richer and poor will own nothing and be modern day slaves, yada yada. And you went on, I think not the nudes comment, but something along the lines of KDP is paying close attention to RH. Any smart person with an ounce of perception sees the writing on the wall coming from AI over the next 10 years. It's pretty much going to make the population useless. But I'm not going to read the whole thing. You mentioned universal basic income, which I believe others like Steve Cohen, Elon Musk, prominent figures in today's financial economic landscape have even cited. Just your thoughts on AI, how it can affect. It's not going to be an overnight thing, obviously, but I think there is, not to be talk shock or anything like that, but I think slowly we are coming to a time where a lot of these simple jobs will become useless in the years to come, and there's going to be a lot of people out of work with no jobs to have, and universal basic income is going to be like a real thing at some point. But I just wanted to expand on that before you go.
Yeah, sure. So basically, the whole world is going to turn into Mexicans, which means that they're going to be unemployed and homeless. Right? Because basically, the people that have control of the AI are going to basically be able to create an almost infinite supply of human labor. And that's coming for call centers in Calcutta. It's coming for, it's coming for almost every type of job you can think of. And basically capital, which is the people that own all the businesses, is going to do very, very well. So the natural reaction to that is that democracies are going to say, well, so what the fuck do we do now? Government. So yeah, we're going to vote for universal basic income. Now, maybe you guys are kind of smarter hexicans, so you're like the 120 IQ hexicans. So you've probably gotten through your whole life by being a little bit smarter than the average person. But in the new world, it's not going to matter because we're all going to be dumb. And so the government's going to pay us all the same wage. And that's what we're going to live on. And we're going to have all the food. Yeah.
Except AI can't fix your plumbing, rebuild your house, fix your car. What else?
You're going to have time to do all that, and you're going to have like a fucking AI goggle basically telling you what to do. Change this pipe, do this thing. Like I'm not going to need you either, to be honest. And we're going to have humanoid robots as well eventually to do all that shit that you just mentioned. So no, like it's you're looking at almost like a post-capitalist world. But just finishing my thought here is that basically they're going to come and say we need to give some sort of basic income to people. It's going to be very hard to get ahead in that new world. I imagine that rich people will be grandfathered in somehow, right? Because they're not going to like becoming middle class, right? So I think you've got about 10 years to get rich, is my guess. After that, it'll be too hard to do anything. And the other thing you have to do is basically get yourself to a place that is still going to let you be rich. Because the place you're living in now may kind of decide that they need to do unrealized capital gains on you. If you are rich.
Hey, shout out to Jimmy Carter. All right.
Yeah, shout out to Uncle Joe. But then tying it back to Paul Shane, it's like, I'll tell you, in that world, like a community that actually follows true DeFi and, is really outside of the system is useful.
Amen. Big game.
I've always thrived in the darkness, so that's perfect for me.
Dylan?
I look forward to the day where if I want an engine swap on a car, a robot can do it. Buck wins. But I just don't see it. Working on classic cars and engine swaps and all that shit.
They're going to be making like Teslas if they're not already. So I mean, they're in training.
I'm not going to want one of those. I'm not going to want one of those stupid cars. I'm going to have self-driving robot cars. I snap my finger, and one that I don't even own shows up and takes me where I want to go.
Robotaxi.
Right up.
Yep.
Good. It fucks
Sounds
right
like
off.
that. You will own nothing and you'll be happy. Utopia.
No, you can own your yield farm of cars, and you just send out your cars, and it'll you'll generate.
I feel like you're gonna see just in these two conversations here, like the disparity, even that you were kind of mentioning there, Buck. like a world where a lot of people will sign up for that system and will happily want to snap their fingers and a car show up, but there will still be
we already saw it with the internet, right? Okay, so I bet, Big K, you were one of these nerds in the 90s making your own computer. You probably had like 2 hard drives and
I can remember from
2 floppy disk things and
all the way up.
Comp USA, probably.
I'm old enough for floppy disks. I remember what those are.
Yeah. You have no clue what these things are, Dylan. Shut up. So I mean, we had that, right? And like I had like a CD collection that I was growing, from like
I have a small
onwards.
fortune in fucking CDs.
I still have my tower somewhere in the garage.
Totally.
God.
And then I switched early over to MP3s and got like I spent years making the best MP3 collection. I was like on the Pirate Bay or torrents downloading.
Same.
Yeah, and then Spotify came out, and I was like, you know what? I just need to say goodbye to all that. And I use Spotify now, and I pay like $6 a month,
yep.
and an AI basically picks the songs for me. It knows my taste and what I want to listen to, and it's pretty damn good. You're gonna be able to replace your partner if you want. You're gonna be able to replace your friends. The whole thing, like whatever it is, all jobs are going away on a long enough time horizon.
Yeah, I agree with you. I also think there's gonna exist this parallel, Hexaco fucking world here that we're talking about, where just like it is now. I still know lots of folks who fucking don't engage, who still barely know how to use their fucking phone. I know it sounds crazy, but people who still hold their record collections and CD collections dear, and they don't interact in the same, so you and I, they basically don't fucking exist, but they do, they still find a way to fucking, they're still hustlers in their own right, making their way in the world. And so I do think that some level of both systems will exist, although what one finds useful and relevant, the other side doesn't at all. Like when I'm telling them about this shit that we're talking about right now, they're like, yeah, cool, cute stories, and they're fine on whatever property they have, building whatever fucking classic car that they want to, and that's fine for them, and they'll still exist. That's just in a lesser, eventually in smaller numbers and shit, So I think that there will be an existing parallel system for a while. It won't be totally one or the non-existent. But yeah, you're right. We're moving to a world where a lot of shit is this is all happening. There is going to be technology phasing out a lot of the shit. A lot of those dumb jobs. Tons of those dumb jobs.
I agree with you, and I guess my point is you're going to have to make a conscious decision if you're going to be one of those guys on the UBI, or if you're going to cut your own path and try to do something above that. And it's going to be pretty tempting to just smoke pot and play video games for most people. on that bombshell, I am going to leave you gentlemen because I have to go have dinner with my mother. But you guys take care, and Dylan is in your capable hands.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Good having you on. And then
there was 3.
That really
2 aside from me, but yes.
It really went down a crazy rabbit hole there, guys.
Well, I figured it would, but it's a fun and also weird conversation to have because people have different feelings on it. It depends upon. It's like arachnophobia or something like that. Like people legitimately fear robots and AI and all that, and other people are like, "Cool, man, bring it on." Let's make my business easier and let it thrive. And
change is the only constant in this world. So if you can't get used to it, and it is going to be a rough time for you. That is for sure. So and things are happening fast. That's also very clear. Lots of different factions of people are competing to be able to do these things. We all probably tweet scrolling through your fucking feed, robot fail at doing a 10-hour shift at some conference recently you know,
just
doing like
suicided.
suicide. Yeah. But like, I mean, we're all like, haha, robots suck still. And you're like, that's fine, but that motherfucker did 10 hours of the fucking movie.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
that's more than like a lot of fucking people I know can do. So you know, that's like it's coming, it's getting there, you know. And I also give you credit, Dylan, though, like the fantastic number of steps that it takes to show up at someone's house, be personable, and say, hey, let me come down, you know, reach down under your sink and fix your fucking pipe, and then fill out a fucking invoice, hand it to you, and walk out the door. All of that is difficult. That's like, we should give humanity a little credit that like that's still going to be hard to replicate. You know, it's not overnight. I mean, it might be in our waning years that some robot shows up and does that for us, and we'll all be like, God, whoa, crazy. But like, it's going to be a while before it's, you know, some fucking humanoid actually does that, you know. But not impossible. We see that it's not impossible. That's neat.
And it's important to keep in mind, like in investing, you know, just I think of like Tesla and Uber. So Tesla announced, or Elon was like, hey, robotaxi is going to be a thing coming, you know, later this year, or big announcement in August or something like that. And then Uber's stock kind of starts to go down. It's like, whoa. Like it's there's so much that has to happen for this to be even at scale, to even remotely disrupt Uber's kind of thing. So all these people have just this short tunnel vision mindset to where they panic and get out. And it's like, all right, let's take the long view here. How long is it really going to take? I agree with Big K. It's not going to be, you know, next year, you know, I'm going to have my own personal robot chef and, you know, mechanic and all that stuff. Yeah. Like you said, it'll be, you know, decades from now, probably, it will come to, you know, that scale. But in the meantime, there's going to be a bunch of cool stuff, not even just talking robotics, but, you know, general AI in a sense. I mean, it's going to be personal. It's going to be business. It's a whole sort of, you know, multi-tiered.
It's super neat stuff. I mean, like the power and ability of it, you know, and like as Buck said is right. They're like, you work really hard to have a, you know, 120 to 130 IQ, you know, and you think you're pretty fucking stellar. And like those language models are creeping up, man. They're coming for 100. That, you know, they're coming for 110 right now. You know, they're looking at breaking. And like when they do, you know, then you're gonna be like, oh man, I'm not so fucking smart anymore, you know, and like that's tough, you know. But I personally have a bit of positivity in all of it. That like, what I can say, at least for now, about humanity is that I mean, I'm sure I've touched on this before. They're like, okay, if you go on Twitter or X or whatever social media platform you want, there's bots that are liking and retweeting shit that you can go out and pay for to do that for you if you want a fake influence, right? So like a fake robotic like or retweet or opinion is worth something because it's going to make somebody else believe that it's a real person liking it. That's the idea, you know? So what that really means is that a real person's retweet, a fucking opinion, click, whatever, is worth 10x more than the bot version, at least right now. In like humanity, you know, sense. I don't know what 10x is the right number, but a lot more. You know, you can
some magnitude more,
some serious magnitude more. So like, at least in the coming future, you know, an actual vote for something from an actual human being for a lot longer than, you know, your job at least is going to be valid and useful. And lots of different platforms all over the world are going to pay or offer decent returns for you to spend your brain space, you know, clicking, liking, retweeting, paying attention to something, you know, and that there's value in that robots can't really afford, like, offer, you know. So like you as a human, you know, to everybody out there listening to our dystopic future here, you are still valuable to the world, at least for now.
You can still make a difference.
For now.
The more you know. There we go. With Big K.
Anyways, let's like any other topics you got on your list here? Cabana?
Yeah, I got a couple more, but I just wanted to circle back on this real quick. So Toshi Hexamoto said Elon Musk says he sees humanoid robots rolling out as early as next year. Yeah, but I was talking at scale. I think all of us were kind of referencing that. And yeah, working in his factories this year. Indeed. I think I actually mentioned that earlier and also heard that. Couple other topics. Good to see CZ. What's going on, Chica? How you doing? In the chat, also Matty Allen. What's up?
Hey.
Wait. Creed's on the radio. I'm hearing My Sacrifice. I gotta turn it up. Hold on. All right. Anyway. Topics. Here we go. We got a couple left. Dylan, I have this one just for you because you might not even have an answer for this, but so I have like multiple charts on my screens and browsers, and over the past recent weeks, I guess, some of my pH stuff has disappeared from Deck Screener. What's going on with that? Any answer? Or I saw somebody tweeted that, Buck retweeted it, and so I just thought I'd ask you. But were you unaware or just okay?
I use Gecko Terminal to track my pH stuff. So because Deck Screener just refuses to add PHUX, the exchange. So I've always just used Gecko Terminal.
Gotcha. I mean, it was there for the longest time, and then they just disappeared like within the past week or so. So
yeah, I have no idea, man. Yeah, so I use Gecko Terminal. Best place to find pH pools and the charts. So
all right. I will give it a look. I like to keep all my things consistent, so I just don't like to switch.
I know, it's annoying.
Yeah. But maybe I'll just make some new windows for the pH stuff. Cool. What else? I guess last on the list, Dylan. So you want to talk a little ink? I know it's your favorite RH ecosystem coin. Tell me how much you've bought in the past week and month, and how big your bags are of ink just from buying it, not even farming.
Oh yeah, wow, yeah. So ink is okay. So let's
take a step back.
Let's see what ink is for, right? So ink is a great token for. It's actually used as a subsidy right now for liquidity providers on V1, right? The purpose of ink is to incentivize people to provide liquidity for the ecosystem. I think we all know this, right? However, the farms are paying, very high APY, right? And Cabana was joking about me buying ink. I think ink is overvalued relative to all the other RH assets. People have made lots of money on ink.
Did you say overvalued or under?
Overvalued, yeah. From compared to all the RH assets, yeah. And so that's great for liquidity providers, right? Some liquidity providers use it to try and bolster up the chain via, they make their own coins and they kind of, shuffle money around in that way. But a lot of guys, they just sell it for stables, right? And then they just cash out, right? One of the bigger ink farmers that we've had, he pulled out. Okay, so first he had a bunch of pulse. So he sold that pulse near the top of the last run up. And
so he had
put it
pulse
in farms.
Before he pulled out or after? That's a key distinction.
So he had pulse. He was holding pulse, and I believe a little bit of pulse X, right?
Okay.
He sold half of it and started putting
it. I was getting that, but yeah, go
ahead. And so he pulled out about half, and he put it in liquidity farms, right? Because ink was, it was 10x or 20x up from the bottom, right? And he put those in the liquidity pools, and he started farming ink. And ever since, he has consistently been selling ink every other day, right? 10K rips, 20K rips every day. And I love selling ink. And he's managed to extract $1.2 million, and he bridged it out, I think, last week, right? And if you pull up the chart with his address, you can literally see top of ink and then just fuckloads of little cell bubbles above his on the chart, right? And so I was doing some math, right? We all love math here, like T-shirt math, math of why it's going to go to $1, all that sort of math shit, right? And I did some real math, and this guy is making $7,000 a day off of $5 million in ink pools, right? Which is that's a lot, okay? And then I wondered, okay, well, what can I get for that in HEX, right? And so I, did a little bit of T-share math, right? And I, anyways, and you need 4 billion hex to make that amount of yield a day, short staking, to be able to replicate what he's doing with ink, right? And that's not the biggest guy. That's just one of the guys that's farming ink. That's a notable player, right? And so it got me thinking. Yeah. Look at that shit, dude.
The
And
dot
so,
plot of death. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's pretty wild. And so I thought, okay, well, how much is 4 billion hex worth? That's worth $32 million at this price right now, right? So you need $32 billion of hex to replicate what that guy is making in ink with $5 million, right? And so it made me think, okay, what is overvalued here and what is undervalued here, right? And so I thought, okay, well, seems like hex is a little undervalued compared to ink at the moment. The yields are very high. I don't think they're very sustainable for the long term, right? They can keep lasting for months. I just don't think that they'll last for years. I coined a term called the Great Migration, right? It sounds silly, but I do think hex is one of the most hated coins in the RH ecosystem at the moment. Nobody wants to buy it. And it's actually relatively stable in terms of volatility compared to the other RH coins. It's kind of kept its value from when Pulse and PulseX were dumping in the first, I want to say, 4 months. And then as Pulse and PulseX started to outperform, Hex kind of was still stable. And, I just think that there's a lot of room for Pulse and PulseX and Ink to go down. And I placed my bet on Hex in terms of lowering my volatility to the downside for this kind of downturn that we're experiencing right now. So, that's my thought process there. But yeah, I'm coining it the Great Migration. I think that everybody's loves shitting on Hex. I think that people are really overhyped about Ink. I mean, I've always spoken my God's honest truth about it, and I'm coming out of the woodwork and spreading my gospel here, and doing my best here to kind of open people's eyes on what's really going on, because these guys that are farming, they're not going to tell you that fucking how much ink they're taking out every fucking day, right? But I'll tell you, right? So yeah, that's what I think about that. What are your thoughts, Cabana?
I mean, when you see the numbers in your, for lack of a better term, dot plot, on that chart like that,
it's pretty fucking obvious.
Yeah.
It's kind of scary looking at it.
Yeah, but I mean, the price still went way up before he sold, but once he started selling, I mean, it just came down and down and down and down. And
Yeah.
just pull this back up really quick.
Yeah, he literally started farming at the top. He sold his pulse on the run up, and he started farming at the top.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was just a really good overall move. And where'd it go? I'll bring it up here one more time. So, yeah, it looks like he started selling on the way up and then all the way up and then all the way down. I mean, I think Ink reached, what was it, just over $10 or something like that? USD.
I think so, yeah.
But yeah. In terms of like a trading coin, I've mentioned here multiple times, I know Jenkins has as well, like in terms of like momentum, and pumps, those are the ones that are going to pump. When I say those, I mean Ink and PulseX. But always know, and especially you bring up, such a great point, is guys like this are getting this amount of ink in one shot, and they're just dumping it as they see fit, then there's kind of like a cap on it in a way.
What's funny is
like
these guys try and blame these hex OGs, like, oh my god, all this yield that they're getting. Well, let me tell you something. The only person I know that makes that much hex yield is literally Godwill, right?
Yeah.
And he staked for years, decades,
out.
right? Okay, so the comparable amount of inflation that you get with hex is magnitudes less than you're getting with ink, right? And so Ink has more liquidity than HEX. HEX has lower liquidity than Ink. That means HEX is easier to pump than Ink. Ink has a higher inflation rate than HEX. That means HEX is easier to pump than Ink. These are my thought processes, and this is the conclusions that I've came to with the data that I found.
Yeah, you'd imagine over time it's only going to get harder to pump ink because it's inflate. It's going to inflate quite a bit, further.
Exactly. So, yeah, the inflation rate is kept the same. The whole halvening thing, it's not accurate. It's just the inflation rate versus supply. Yeah, it just correct.
Yeah, we've had different theories presented on it, and I think for what I've seen, you're right, Dylan. There's no halvening that I've ever.
No, it's like a gradual natural halvening because there's more supply over time. It's not the same as like a sharp cut in the supply, or the inflation. I mean, and if there became some reason for ink, fine, but like you follow the money. Usually people that are whales that have a bunch of money that like are gonna that if the value of something's gonna run up, they would probably be accumulating it instead of selling it from the top down, that. So and do some quick math on like how much people want to say that it's gonna run over $100+, how much yield would that dude be making?
Right.
Ungodly amounts.
Yeah. Does that seem sustainable to anybody?
He makes $200K a month, guys.
Yeah, so you're gonna we're at what, $3 or something. So $100 plus ink would be 30, would be 33x that or something. Like
no, I'm guessing there are some out there that want to see ink pump because it's kind of tied to other coins, if you will. I know probably maybe 2 off the top of my head. So guys maybe dump ink to pump other coins, and it's, I would say, in their best interest to not murder the price. But this guy that we were just showing does that by himself, basically. But it's also good if that's a strategy to use ink to buy other things, not to murder the price. The guy that you're referencing, Dylan, just bridged out and see you later.
Yep. Yeah. So like you brought up about buying other coins. Yeah, there's a really big guy in ink that loves buying stuff that he's made or community member stuff, and that's great, right? Because it's like, okay, well, you see these green candles in the ecosystem. It's kind of helping in a way, and he's trying to do his own thing, right? Which is great. But this guy, and I'm going to go on a limb and say, a lot of the other guys that farm ink are pretty much just like this. So,
But I mean, and when you've got heavy liquidity tied to all these other coins, and they're gonna continue to farm it as much as they can. So
I mean, like in a bare bones kind of speak, like ink was kind of designed to offset impermanent loss too. So it's like
originally
that's the thing. So
originally
other things, and you're eating the impairment loss and then buying other stuff with it. Totally fine. I'm not opposed to that whatsoever. But just dumping and taking money off the chain is not helping the situation.
Yeah.
No. So
I mean,
it's right. It's the right. I get it. I'm not like, ooh, fuck that guy or whatever. It's like whatever. And somebody, and personally, as somebody who is, who likes everything, but is more a HEX maxi than anybody here, I like your write-up. I like what you had to say. I think that in general, when you look at what you said, it has been holding its value better against things. And if you like, ink right now is still from its lows, 5x higher, 3 to 5x higher than where its lows were. We could like get down to like 80 cents or something like that, 70 cents. So like
something around there,
so we're still quite a bit higher in ink, whereas like Pulse X, HEX, all those 3 are not. They're not way higher than where they were. I mean, I guess Pulse and Pulse X are higher from their all-time lows, but like HEX is pretty close. So like for a risk reward, I'm putting my money HEX.
There you
Yeah,
go.
that's where I put my
Well,
money.
You did bring up other coins, so just as a final fun little exercise with all of these meme coins, and we have dexes on Pulse Chain, different platforms for leverage trading and all that stuff. The NFL draft was last night, so along those lines, we'll just make this very quick. We're not going to do like a whole draft or anything. We'll just do one pick. But if you had a first overall pick, and it's okay to pick the same coin. I was just curious right now for price performance for the next 6 months. We'll go around the room. It doesn't mean anything. If your coin's not mentioned, don't hate. If your coin is mentioned, celebrate, whatever. We have no bearing on price. Big K, what would you choose?
Wait, are we talking meme coins here?
No, anything in the Pulse Chain ecosystem.
Oh, like anything?
Anything.
One coin.
Good question.
I have a list of 100 coins over here that I either have or are interested in and are looking at. So that's really tough. That is fucking
Give me your top 3 then.
Okay. I don't know. Okay.
Or we could go around the room. Do you want to have first pick?
Yeah, no, I'll do my first pick of like
the Pulse Chain draft is
my meme coin of the most.
You don't have to be, it doesn't have to be a meme coin, but whatever.
Okay. So like I really like. I mean, if we had PH folks on, so like I do love. PHLP has been some sick gains. That's been holding your shit out. If you want to liquidity provide somewhere and having sick basket of shit and be up still pretty
sick basket.
Yes, it's true. Yeah,
it's not fun. It's not exciting. It's not.
No,
it's
just
not,
like it goes up like since inception. It's what up like 40% or something. Just slow and steady.
Yeah. It's exactly.
Yeah.
It's been great. It's been great. If you're holding that, you're way more stoked than if you're holding like most of the coins, like 30% of the coins in it. Yeah.
So PHLP is off the board as the number 1 pick.
That's one of mine. Yeah. I'll get. All
right. Maybe we'll check back in 6 months.
We'll do a reunion stream. We want to go around.
Yeah. I go next, right? Yeah.
Yes, Dylan is next.
Okay, so I don't dabble in meme coins, but I do hold opinions because don't we all love armchair opinion makers, right?
Yeah.
I think BitBoy's thing might have some legs. I think it might do really well. Serious, yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah. Okay, I got it. Sorry, I went over my fucking head. But yeah.
It would be some wild ass shit if BitBoy is the one who starts bringing some fucking dollars.
I know. Yeah.
Bro. There we go. Bro.
Yeah. So I think the whale that kind of supports SolidX, Fire, Access, all that stuff.
Yeah. No. Whoa. Are you?
You took bro. SolidX is my pick.
Let me finish my thought process here.
Yeah.
I showed my hand.
Yeah. No, you did because it wasn't going to you anyway. Anyway, good.
Okay, so look, like the guy that likes that stuff, he also thinks very highly of BitBoy, right? So I think with that process, he was buying some bro today, so he'll probably do the same thing to kind of try and hype up the chain. So in his way, he's trying to do his little marketing thing, and I think that he might try and do that with bro as well. So that's my thought process there. I don't hold any of that stuff, but that's just my take. Okay.
Gotcha. Well, I'll just go since we've already talked about it. But SolidX with number 3 pick, lucky 3. I'll take SolidX. So we got first round. Big K's got PHLP. Dylan has bro.
I don't own any. Just throwing that out there.
It's okay if you do, man. It's okay. I may or may not have some solid.
I already may have some bro or may not. I don't know. I'm not sure.
How about solid X, Big K?
I also may or may not have some solid X.
Okay.
I think that's a yes.
All right. Yes, round number 2. Big K. We got 2 rounds left here.
Oh shit. Well, you took my solid X pick. Oh man. Fuck. That really threw me.
I can't let you have all the fun. So
I was actually gonna choose like the index that they're putting together. Those
Oh yeah.
that's pretty neat. That's a pretty neat little quadrifecta that of cats.
Yeah.
Because like I would like to like call out all of them and say I appreciate all four of those gentlemen for what they do. And if they and whatever index they're putting together on and hopefully on some pH like products, that's all that's fantastic. I think that they really it's neat. But I don't want to just go straight meme for my next pick.
Oh,
Or like just
He's still deliberating. He's still deliberating.
this is DGen hour. Let's go.
Don't worry, we're not going to castrate you and hold you to it. A month from now.
I don't know. You're gonna have to come back to me. I might just.
Well, Dylan's gonna steal your pick if we have to come back to you. So.
I mean, here's the thing. I'm not it's not like I hold a bunch, or like it's not like I'm a big fan of this. Like it's the silliest, dumbest shit in the world.
Oh no! Here we go.
No, I'm not gonna go that route.
Just say it, man.
Bless it. There's too many good ones out there. Who's been killing it, and I actually am impressed with what they've done with their stuff is 9 Inch or 9 Inch. Like they've
Nice.
They've put together a decent like the upgrades that they have added, the way that they're trying to offer other people the ability to onboard and bring their own coins. You work in tandem with them with BBC. I think that like they're doing the as much as you can squeeze out of the juice out of that fruit that you can get.
As much as you can squeeze out of that eggplant.
Out of that eggplant. I mean, it's that I think because like I mean it is like at first there's part of me that's like a meme dex is tough as an interesting idea, and now that I've seen them unfold stuff, I'm like, okay, they thought about this for a long time. They've put some things into there's some effort into it. They've engineered some stuff. So like I'll give 9 Inch my next pick, just because I think that they've really put the work in.
Yes.
Doing the community effort.
And if it is like meme season, then they'll do well.
Yeah, and that's where we're at right now. I mean, like SolidX like that was launched through their their token creator system. So like all that's cool. Yeah, I see you, D Nice. Yeah, Dick with butt is also an interesting coin. It was on my mind. I like the slider. Who doesn't like the slider? Thank you 9mm for that. That's every time I'm there, I get to be remembered of Dick with butt. Right.
Thank you for that. Dylan, pick number 2. Over to you.
Oh man. You know what? What's our time frame here?
6 months.
6 months. Huh.
That way we can do a reunion stream in the end of October or early November and see how we did.
Okay. You know what?
And maybe we should shout out the prices of our coins as well.
Ooh.
When we do it.
Mm.
So gather those, and we'll do those at the very end. That way they'll all be in one place.
Yeah, I want to be a dick and say stable coins.
I mean, shout out to the stable coins.
Shout out to the stable coins.
We've got some cool ones on the chain, and right. And those, then you can
no.
Other coins.
I'm talking about wrap stables. I'm not talking about the other stuff.
Oh boy!
Shout out to my USDC.
That's right.
Yeah, but I won't pick that. I don't know, man. I think maybe it's HEX time to shine. I'm gonna go with the good old boy. The fucking everyone hates it. I think I put my money where my mouth is, and I think I like Hex for my second pick. I think.
All right, there you have it.
I didn't know
Hex
we could
on
do-
Ethereum for Dylan. I'm going to take Hex on Pulse Chain.
On Ethereum.
No.
Whoa. Hold on a second.
Oh, you
Hold
didn't
on a second.
specify. Oh, okay. So,
When I say Hex, I mean the Hex on Pulse Chain.
okay.
If I
there
say
you go.
E-Hex, I mean the other one. Okay.
That's an easy price to find. So, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I
Along
gotta,
Big
are we-
K's lines, I'm going to stick with that platform. Well, go with the BBC.
nice.
There you go.
So yeah,
Nice.
I'm right there with you, and that way, Big K and I can kind of, if one of our picks is slightly better than the other, I can at least track him with this one. But yeah,
Nice.
Dylan
Nice.
might just crush all of us with his Hex on Ethereum. So we'll see. Kidding. All right, so round number 3, Big
Uh-oh.
K. Who is your?
This is tough because I'm now like, now that I know we're doing like, I don't think that PHLP is gonna like blow everyone's mind in price over the, like it's.
I
not-
said 6
I'm
months
thinking-
at the beginning.
Shit. Well, this is
Like
not-
the very beginning, I said 6
Well,
months.
I thought it was in the middle. It was in Dylan's when he said how long is the time frame? Because my first choice, if I knew it was price appreciation, I just thought we were talking about love of the coin. Anyways, because I would have for sure like Hex is definitely on my list there.
Well, you have
man,
a list of 100 coins, so I'm sure
I
you can
do.
find another one.
I do. I'm just like, man, fuck. For price appreciation, that's 6 months.
He's scrolling through his notepad here.
Golly.
I'm gonna dig deep on mine as well. Here we go.
Man, and again, because like I think my mind is totally somewhere else. I didn't think about. I was going to talk about it, like some meme coins that I think have been really cool because of like there's a coin that has made a lot of APY on another PH system, but I don't know if it's going to have the most gains. All right, well, fuck.
Oh, all right.
You
Someone
got me.
cue the Jeopardy theme song.
I'll say it. Well, it's at a super low, so it probably is a pretty good choice for it. I'm gonna go with it because it's one that like I particularly like. It's not I'm saying like don't go. I'm not. Hey, we'll buy this or anything. But it's a meme coin that's been out since the beginning, early in Pulse. Real big coin. It is.
Oh.
It's very, very down now. It's been down. It's like just went under 100K market cap, but like it's still been solidly making 90% plus APY on Fux. So like, that's pretty G. I've made kick-ass APY on that for a long, long time. So shout out to early meme coiners on early meme coiners.
All right.
And maybe late ones. I think that it's pretty easy to go up from 100K. So
There you go.
So roll the dice. You see the
I like it. That's what you got to do with a 3-pick draft.
You really threw me off with. I wasn't think we were talking core coins. I would have picked Hex. I would have picked that pretty early on.
A gift that fell to Dylan in round 2. But
it did. It really did. I'm gonna
Wrap-
hope for the best for my horses. I see because I really fucked myself with the first one. So now,
hey, you know what? If everything just crashes, you could win the thing just because of that. So
that's true. That's true. I got a hedge. I got
It's like an insurance.
That's why for my pick, it's gonna be wrapped over stable coins. Okay, just in case.
Yeah, that's solid hedge. Solid hedge. So we should do a round of coins outside the RH ecosystem just in case. No, just kidding.
All right.
Funny jokes.
So what is your pick, Dylan?
I'm gonna go with good old E-Die.
P-Die?
Die. No, Rap Die.
Oh, so you're
Wrapped
doing
die. So stable.
All right. I feel super good about my choices now. No, I feel good.
I got a good hedge, Like, what was my first pick? Oh, bro, Hex, and then stable coins. Oh man.
Yeah, bro, Hex, and stable coins. Let me see.
I just wanted to be a dick, say stable coins.
No,
Pure blood. Oof.
I said PHLP. That's, I mean, like I said, I don't think I'm gonna.
Oh yeah, that'll outperform stables by far. Yeah.
And who are your other two big K? I'm just gonna write these
Write
down.
us down. I said RBC and 9-inch.
There you go.
Oh yeah, 9-inch. All right.
And again, I'm also trying to give credit where credit's due. I'm not. Man, these are going to be tough ones. These are tough ones. We'll see. Let's go. Come
Yeah,
on.
we're just having fun. Yeah.
Everybody.
We're
Let's
just
do
having fun. We're just having
Yeah,
fun.
just having
The current hex price is 00806.
Nice.
That's a pretty good. I mean, I really hope you win this, Dylan.
I really hope I win it
For
too.
both our bags.
What is the current price of bro?
I don't know.
No fucking clue.
There's a bunch of zeros. So it's 0, 0. Up more now. Well, I'll be damned.
Oh, there's a pump going in.
Here, do your 5-minute chart and go back maybe 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Bro, man. All right, no, it's all good. It's not that up. 00179.
00179. All right.
That was my first pick. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
What's PHLP, like $140 maybe? I don't know.
Probably. You're gonna have to go to
not gonna be on deck screener, so I can't look that one up.
You gotta go to the stat page or just go to Fame dashboard.
The price is 140 through 140.32.
Love me some PHLP.
We're actually writing this stuff down. Wow. Oh, by the way, I just have to remind you, E-die is worth $1. Okay. Please notate that.
Wrapped die $1. That was already logged, sir. So yeah.
I thought when you said that you were going to go for P-die, I was excited to see how that turned out for you. That's
I don't like
P-die,
that BBC was
P-die
up
guys
so much.
love me. Oh, I love getting in scuttles with those guys.
I bet. They come from a place based on only facts and real substance. So
that's true. Yeah. Wow.
So I can see why they get
and NASA and stuff. So yeah.
NASA. Yeah.
NASA. The last one is RBC. What's the price of that?
Wow. Let me go find it.
Man, all right. I'm torn between my last pick here while you find that. I might just to hedge. I hedged against Big K. To hedge against Dylan, or should I just go for something totally off the wall?
7099.
7 zeros.
7099. We're right at $99,000 market cap. Like I said, I'm going for highest risk reward.
That's how you do it. So yeah, there you go.
Damn.
I might send this boy to the moon just to win a bet.
We'll check back in 6 months. Yeah. All right. Let's see. All right. Solid X is at 96.75. BBC is at 48 cents 69. I just went 4 decimal places on there. Man, I don't know. Should I just go like total like weird stuff or hedge? I might just hedge.
We all got a hedge.
Hedge my bet. I'm gonna hedge.
I heard Ink was really good. I heard Ink was like fantastic. The best meme coin on Pulse, man.
It is.
But I haven't seen any memes for it yet. That's so weird.
I am gonna go with. I think Johnny Sachs will love me for it, and so will Axis and Coffee. I'll go with Calm to hedge. Dylan's hex bet.
That's an interesting choice.
Thank you. Interesting. Could be good or bad, but
I mean, again,
I'll
I'm
take
a
it
huge
as
fan of things I get for free, loosely based on the amount of t-shirts I've bought.
and dump like ink, but yeah, it's okay. And I beat you on the zeros, I do believe, as well.
Yes,
Oh my
you
gosh.
have beaten me on the zeros. Com probably has 8 or 9, right? I don't know. It
I
was
think it's got like 10, but
10
Jesus
zeros. 10 zeros, 1
10
4.
zeros, 1476.
Dude, he's got to go right close to the screen. Oh God.
147. These zeros count because it could be the difference between things
Yeah.
or
But
winning and
Two
losing.
zeros, that's a lot, right?
Yeah,
Like, come on.
you lose a zero, so that's like 10 times your bag
I
right there.
agree. You've got a solid case. I mean, it's really, I mean, $1.8 million market cap. It's really peanuts. I mean, it could
Hey,
go,
we're looking
could
for
go
pumps,
very high.
baby.
I'm telling you, you made a good. It's solid.
All right. We're gonna save this little thing. I'll put it in my calendar to remind ourselves, and then maybe we'll reconvene in 6 months. But good stuff. All right. Well, that concludes the 2024 impromptu Pulse Chain Draft, live from the interwebs and the cloud or wherever else.
Sorry.
Corey Gary wanted me to choose ink.
Choosing Cabana.
I was
Corey,
I was
you.
tempted. I was tempted.
I love you, Corey.
I had a few that tempted me there, but good stuff, gents. Good stuff. Appreciate it. It'll be fun to check back on in 6 months. With that being said, we've been here for close to an hour and a half. So as we always do, let's go around the room. Tell us where we can find you, and we'll wrap it up here. Big K, where can we find you, sir?
I got a bunch of places for you, actually. I got, you can find me Big Kirkowski on Twitter, at Big Kirkowski on Telegram. You can find me on the highest stakes, flying on at Emirates Air. That's pretty badass. You can find me at Consensus in a month. You can find me at
who also sued the SEC.
Yeah.
Chad.
Cool. Yeah, they're cool with like, look at that. RBC Pulse has $15 in volume. Yeah, dog. Well, you're looking at the wrong chart. You gotta go to you gotta look at PHUX stuff because they're the highest APR.
Gecko Terminal, yeah.
Gecko Terminal. But I
was
do
gonna
agree.
say if it's $15 in volume, Big K's already won. You could just send it the day before Moon.
Yeah, just massive big kettle.
That's the real hedge right there. So you can also find me. Where else are we gonna be? We're gonna be at Bitcoin 2024 in Nashville this year. That'll be cool. We'll see.
I'll be there.
Yes, we'll have a booth there for highest stakes. Oh, I was gonna ask people. So next time we do the happy hour, I want to get some people's input on what fucking flavors. Me and Motley are gonna get some energy drinks put together with the Pulse label.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
There you go.
Yeah, we can do that. But there's like a myriad.
Bro,
of flavors.
hello. Red Bull, bro. Like, come on. Come on,
well,
dude.
they got the regular Red Bull flavor, but then they've got all these other shit too. So you what do you want? You want fucking prickly pear or fucking like, whatever? All the shit's there. So we should do some kind of fucking poll or something to ask people out there what they feel. Anyways, we'll be at Nashville with some energy drinks and out there. Where else will I be? Oh, I got some business in Amsterdam in a couple weeks. So if anybody lives around that way and wants to get up, I'm gonna go play some Schulenbach there. I don't know if anybody knows about some Schulenbach. It's probably just people from the Netherlands.
Schulenbach.
It's like Dutch shuffleboard. It's a good bar game. Anyways, those I think are all the places I'll be. I think that's it.
Nice.
You can find me there.
All right. Dylan, where can we find you?
Well, you guys know where to find me on Twitter. At BB_trippin with no G. I like to post on there every once in a while. If you guys need me for customer support, I will respond to you. At Hexastani, so on and so forth. You can find me in the Cabal. I'm very proud of that. Yeah, I'll be with Big K, getting plastered at the highest of stakes thing in Bitcoin conference. That'll be fun.
Hopefully after, so we can put on.
No, during.
Yeah,
No, during.
we'll
During. During.
It's a long weekend, it's there's be time for both.
All right.
Yeah. So yeah, that'll be fun.
How about New York?
Hopefully.
Anyone doing New York?
Oh yeah, New York.
I thought about that.
That's a little ways away, so I didn't want to bring that up. But yeah, I think that New York too.
I thought about that, but it looks like everybody's trying to go. So maybe if the attendance drops a little bit, I'll go. I don't know.
I mean, I could even be in the city and not go to a overly crowded courtroom, but it's the message.
I feel like me and BitBoy on the steps of the courthouse is where I belong, with a megaphone or something.
There you go.
Maybe a sign or something. I don't know if I belong in the courtroom for 4 hours or whatever it's gonna be. None of that
Jesus
sounds.
Christ.
I can get the TLDR from somebody that has patience.
And we could go out, and make a scene at the beginning, Big K, and then just hit some bars and let everybody come out. And
I heard Moritz was going to light himself on fire at the
self-immolation. Exciting.
Yeah.
If the government decides they're going to continue to allow us to have cryptocurrency, he's going to light himself on fire in protest.
Fucking A.
Yeah, well, good stuff. And for those who are going, I thought Yashdeep brought up a great point on X. If we're representing this community, present yourself well.
Best behavior.
Yeah, and just looks wise. Wear something nice. Don't wear your HEX tank top or something. I'm a big fan of crypto tank tops. Anybody who knows me knows, out on the beach. But
let's dress like we're investment professionals, guys.
Yes, bring some class to the facility. So
there you go.
There you go. So yeah, thank you for that, Dylan. One last shout out before I go. Almost forgot. Rags to Riches and Funding Gym are doing this Minek thing. So it's if they do well, they get a dinner with Patrick Bet David, and they can of course talk crypto and Pulse Chain. I think we were talking about outbound marketing and reaching out and trying unique things earlier. This would be awesome. And you know what, Hexkins, I know y'all got $10, so that's the cheapest option for one of these things. Just go to Rags's account or Funding Jim's account. Rags is actually in the lead right now in his league. There are different leagues with different tiers of celebrities or notable people, but in Rags's league he's actually winning 42-30 right now, so that's pretty cool. And Funding Jim is right there in 4th place, so I'm not sure if that's top 3 in that league, but if he wins, whoever wins that can definitely have dinner with the Patrick Bet David team and get Pulse Chain in front of eyeballs and people with pockets.
Nice.
Pretty nice pockets. So like I said, go on Funding Gym or Rags to Riches, hit up their Twitter. I know we all got $10. Y'all some of y'all tip way more of that, during the streams over the months and years or whatnot. It'll probably only take a second. You don't really have to do anything. I think you just make an account and text. I think it's a text question or something like that. It's the cheapest option. Ask him a question, have him answer it, give him an awesome review. That's Funding Gym and Rags to Riches. And just big shout out to those guys for, again, reaching out, stepping out a little bit side of the Twitter sphere, the stream sphere, and doing something really cool that could benefit everyone. And all you got to do is just help them out and give them a little push. So I'm all about it. I think it'd be just awesome for Pulse Chain to get a little recognition at something like that. So good stuff. Thank you, Rags and Funding Gym, for putting forth that effort. And with that, I guess we shall close, gents. I'm gonna go watch some hockey with the boys, and we'll see how these awful Washington Capitals do, who never should have made the playoffs because they had a minus 40-some goal differential. But hey, it is what it is. I'm gonna, we're just happy to be here.
Yeah,
Happy
it's
to
a
be
fun
here.
time.
Yeah.
It's a fun time.
I'm
you
sorry
go.
about your Blackhawks, Big K, but at least you got Connor Bedard. So
That's true. We do have Connor Bedard, and I also do like the Lightning since of my time.
I
in
love the
Tampa,
Lightning,
so-
and they're
so.
about ready to be eliminated as well, sadly. So,
It's been yeah, I know.
but at least
But-
another Florida team's winning, so I can't complain too much. Although I
Sure.
am more of a Lightning fan than a Panther fan. So
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Anyway,
all right, gents. Well, we will wrap it up, and we will see you, I guess, in a couple weeks. We'll,
Couple weeks.
stay tuned to the socials, and we'll tell you when
There
we're
you
on. See you, everybody.
later.